Hey guys, this is Toby from Buccaneer. I just wanted to take 2 minutes out of your day to introduce you to the app. Some of you will have used the app previously. Some of you may have seen some mail shots or some of our content on social media. But yeah, as I said, I wanted to take 2 minutes. There is far too much functionality in the app to cover it all in 2 minutes, but I just wanted to give you a quick overview of the core functionality. At its heart, what Buccaneer is a community application designed to connect people to places that they do their sport. The primary functionality in the app right now is covering water sports, but we're also adding in mountain biking, climbing, some of the land-based sports. But let's just start by giving you a quick view of the navigation of the application. You can see I've logged in. As you set up a user in the app, you set your primary sport interests, and those icons are represented at the top there, you can see. And then the content that the app will then serve to you is related to those sports. But let's cut straight to the map. One of the core areas of functionality is a really cool location guide. You can see there we've opened up a map view, and you can sort of, in normal functionality with an app, you can sort of navigate your way around that. We've got thousands of spots already set up in the application. But if I just zoom in just for a moment, well, let's zoom in on Worthing as a great example of a spot in the app. It's got a ton of data. You can see there Worthing's highlighted as I've tapped on it. I'm going to go into that record and I can see a ton of information in relation to that record. You can see some of the services that are there. You can see why this is popular for people that perhaps haven't visited the location previously. You've got some core information. Every spot where possible, we've added in a link to wind and tide. You can see there are links to businesses that work out of this location or have an interest in that location. And underneath we've got some icons that represent the services. And if you tap on those icons, some of them will display any sort of core information in relation to that specific spot. We've got some technical information about the spot as well. And anywhere where we've got it wrong, there is a button where you can press and sort of look at the information we've stored about the spot, and you can submit an update. One of the things we would really like from our user base is to be able to make sure that our information is current, and we receive quite a lot of that already, so that's awesome. Other things about the app, we've got sessions. So outside of the location database and that in itself being useful information, we've got information in relation to sessions that are taking place at a spot. So you can see that sort of listed in there. Users can create sessions, invite users, but there is also a business platform within the app where sponsors of locations can create sessions. They can be paid sessions, and there is a whole sort of payment gateway built into the app that will allow you to create an event, if you like, and as people sign into it, they can pay for a ticket, or you can create a community event that's totally free. Going back to sort of businesses, one of the key things we want to represent in the app is local service vendors and national service vendors, really, and that splits into 3 categories you can see there. So the local shops can very much put a flag in the sand virtually of their presence. If I just click into K66 there, you can see you've got a little summary of what that business offers. I can go direct to a website, I can phone them directly, and perhaps most importantly, I can click to find them by tapping on the maps icon, particularly if the service provider is a little bit away from the beachfront, allowing people to find that shop. The other piece is a notice board, where one of the advantages we bring to business users, general users are encouraged to follow a location or follow a business. If they do so, when a business makes a post into a location or into their own notice board, anyone who follows that business will get a push notification. The benefit of this, Facebook, Instagram, they're all good platforms, but they're quite generic in the way that they serve content to your audience. Anyone who follows a profile in Buccaneer will get a push notification from a business that makes that post. And you can see, so we're not just looking at sort of local service vendors as shops. as schools or hire places. Sup Hire is a good example, but Eat Stay is in there as well. So that gives you a good feel for sort of the location records as such, just following that navigation across the bottom. You can see these are my favorites. So you can see we've got a ton of vendors already sort of working in the app and using it. We have got my key locations. So as a user, when I follow a spot, when something happens at that location, I get a push notification, which is super useful. So let's look at a location, for example. The other thing that Buccaneer gives is a events platform that allows businesses to be able to, let's look at Hailing Island Public Beach, to be able to run an event. One of the events we ran last year, we ran the festival itinerary for the Kite Armada, which is where hopefully some of you have seen this before. So if we just tap into the Armada that happened last year, but obviously the historical sessions are served there too, you can see when we've created the event, we've now created the itinerary for that event, which was super useful. Users of the app or festival or event attendees can follow a particular item in the event schedule, and when things happen in that event schedule, they are given a push notification. So it's super easy to keep track of your event participants, and you can see that information stored in there. As a business user, you have your own profile. So if we just view, I'm set up as a pro user in the app. I can create a profile for my business. I can create sort of images that represent the business, hot links, which you saw previously when we were looking at K66 is profile, that sort of are related to my business. But I can also connect my business to specific locations. So you can see that's a mountain biking location for my user. If we perhaps come out of here and go into a different profile in the app, go back to favorites and go into businesses, and we look at a good example. Let's see what we can find in here. So gosh, lots of businesses, lots of groups set up in the app already. So trying to find a good example. I've probably gone past a person. Let's go pro. Might be better. George, let's look at George Duffy Coaching. And if we look at the bottom of his profile, you can see the working locations that George works out of. You can navigate to those spots super easily, but anyone visiting those locations in the app is able to see the fact that George is working out of there. It's a really good cue if they're interested in kitesurfing lessons in this particular case to give George a call. I could go on for ages at this point, but I just wanted to give people an idea of what the app is capable of. We're really keen, obviously, to bring new users on board with roughly 4,000 users right now. We will be bringing the app from a native mobile app on both Android and the Apple App Store into a full web platform, which means all of the content that we collect within the app will be visible from a general web platform and be visible in searches. So there's a really good reason for businesses to jump on board and list in the app. Thank you very much for your time. We'll be sending more of these out, but we just wanted to give you a quick overview of what the app does. Thank you for your time. Cheers.